So, there's Rasheed Ogunlaru,
Thank you.
introduced and very often as inspiring speaker, coach. What are the other labels that...
Business coach, motivational speaker, life coach, all
But
sorts of
they are
titles.
labels though, aren't they? And the reason why I want you to be one of the first people I capture talking for the Invention Intelligence site is because the things that you say about the importance of building yourself into your business idea really ring true. They obviously make a big difference to people because you work with a lot of people at the British Library, in businesses around London and maybe even beyond, I don't know, but you clearly have a profound effect on the way that they approach getting their business idea or their business off the ground. So I want to just take a few minutes now to get your take and hear you talk about the importance of any individual building themselves into their idea as they get it off the ground. Take it away, Rasheed.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because if you don't build yourself into it, you're soon going to find all sorts of issues. I mean, the bottom line is that we often forget that the most central thing in your business is you. You know, you're the reason why you've done it. Whatever's happened to you in your life thus far is what's led you to the point of setting up your business. And unless you are happy, content, in balance, confident, motivated, then your business is going to struggle or it's going to stall. It's as simple as that. So the first thing that we need to do when we're working with anybody, and the first thing that you need to do, is really to take care of you. Find out who you are, find out what you're about, find out why you're in business, be very clear about what you're wanting to achieve in business, and ensure that you do that very holistically so that the business is, if you like, built in your own image, so it's something you're happy
Is
about.
that a process that's going to take somebody such a long time that they might be doing it 20 years later instead of, you know, getting on and launching their idea? Is there a shortcut to doing that kind of work?
I think there is a kind of a shortcut. I think the shortcut is that it kind of happens once you're mindful about that, once you're mindful that, you know, I'm not just running a business here, it's about me and I need to get myself right, then the journey is one in which you and your business evolve at the same time, really.
Right.
They will both evolve at the same time, but it just means that it's holistic. And one of the main reasons why people really struggle in their career and in business is that they kind of think, oh, business is this, my life's here, my relationships are over there, and so everything ends up being all over the place. And as you know from the kind of workshops you do, where you look at people in the various hats that they wear, unless they sort of that me, myself, I hat, nothing else is going to happen, or it's going to be a struggle, or it's going to be unfulfilling, and all the very reasons why they went into business, and everybody goes into business because they want a better life, they want to be happy, they want to do something that feels passionate to them. It evaporates. You have to look at you first. So when I'm working with anybody, be it in a seminar or workshop or one-to-one, we look at you, we look at your business, and we look at your customers, but it starts off with you.
But it's a scary process, isn't it? Is there... So it's not something that anybody's going to want to bypass or do the shortcut to. But I suppose what I'm wanting to ask is, okay, it's going to be good for the business to do that. Are there any other side effects on your life or reasons why people should, you know, run towards sorting out the me, myself, I of them?
Oh, most certainly. I think there's every benefit. You know, everyone's on a journey. You're on a journey, and that's what's led you into business in the first place. So it really is worth stepping back. Okay, why am I in business? What does it mean to me? How will I know when I'm successful? And what is it I'm wanting to achieve? What's it I'm wanting to contribute? How is it that my product or service is really going to help people? And those will really link back to you and your values and what it is that you're about. So by you taking that time to step back and look at yourself and what your motivators are, and what you're about, that's really going to pour itself into your business. It's really going to enhance your business. That's likely to be your USP. It's no surprise that U is the first letter of USP. You, yourself. And that's the magic, and that will really pour into the work that you do, and that's what will stand you head and shoulders above the competition, why people come to you. Because when people come to you, as they all say, they buy you before they buy your product. And so that means there's going to be something very compelling about you and something very authentic about you. And we live in a world where we're all desperate for authenticity, and we often don't see that. And often people feel as though they're trying to sell them a product rather than take care of that individual. So by you being authentic, you sorting yourself out, you're going to be able to connect to your customers, you're going to be able to connect to your staff or your team if you have them or if they'll emerge over a period of time, you'll be able to connect to your product, you'll be incredibly compelling. And of course, let's not forget that if you are in business, the chances are, particularly in the early days, you're going to need to go out there and network, you're going to need to go out there and meet with suppliers, you're going to have to go out there and speak to the bank manager, you will be powerfully compelling because you will be authentic, you will be in tune with yourself, your values, your vision, and what you're about. So that's the magic of looking at you first.
Do you think, something that occurs to me is that it's probably always been that way in business, but with the way that the internet kind of cuts to the chase, you do a search on anybody online and you can see their entry on Facebook or anything they got up on YouTube or MySpace or whatever with social networking, the social marketing side of things, it's even more the case, isn't it, that there has to be, as the word, seamlessness between yourself and what you're putting out in the world, whether that's a new product, new service, new music, a book, or whatever that is. Do you think it's a growing trend then? It's a growing move, something that people just will not be able to escape from?
I think increasingly that certainly looks like how it is at the moment, that the nature of the technological advances are such that media is in the hands of everybody. So thus the social networking site, the YouTube where people are broadcasting their own kind of stuff. And so it's amazing how in a short space of time that's become the reality. So certainly for right now, and I would imagine for the immediate future at least, you're not going to be able to get away from it. You're going to need to be able to perform. You're going to need to be able to connect and present yourself. And in one way or another, you've got to do the work on you because it's going to reflect in everything that you do. So it's best that you address yourself first, that you really take care of yourself first. Because the thing that is prior, let's face it, to your product is you. The best hope you have of your product being really powerful and brilliant is by you having sorted yourself out. That is going to pour into your creativity and everything that you touch and do. So you can't get away from it. If you don't do that work, there are going to be areas where you're not going to show up on time. This is going to be a problem. You're not going to be able to relate to your customers, the staff. You're not going to be motivated. You're going to have problems with suppliers or whatever it happens. It's very funny that, Callie, that so many people when it comes to business do forget that. At the end of the day, it's about you, your confidence, your self-belief. And that's one of the things that I find time and time again that is really the core, is actually people wanting to not only authentically be themselves, but they often struggle with self-belief. If you take care of yourself, then that self-belief thing will emerge and you'll be confident and you'll be able to move your business forward.
That's almost a lovely way to end, because we wanted to make this, first video really, really short and get to the nub of it. If I were to say though, is there a quick tip for somebody? How do they get started? It's a big step to take in a way. What's the first thing that they should do to get connected to the me, myself, I, to begin to know themselves?
I think the first thing to do is congratulate yourself that the fact that you've started a business already and that you've already travelled a long way, because in a way, rather than this being the first step, you've taken many steps already that have led you here to this point where you're wanting to move forward and you're wanting to build your business, you're wanting to enhance your life. So give yourself credit, applaud yourself, be grateful for all that's happened in your life, use all the learning that you've had so far, and that will help you in this actual process of becoming yourself in the business world, and it will therefore naturally flourish. It will be a natural blossoming of all you've done before, but very uniquely true to you and what it is that you can do in the world.
Thanks, Rasheed. I don't think there's ever a question I could possibly ask you that you wouldn't get a perfect answer for.
Oh, that's really kind. Thank you.
Thanks, Rasheed.